Many of my coaching students tell me, I got a great resume, but I just lost someone with a similar resume, with similar qualifications, or qualifications that's slightly less than mine, that's slightly less qualified than me. How is it possible that they got the job, they got hired, and I got rejected? I got silver, I got bronze. Okay, how is that even possible? What are some of the things that I don't know? What are some of the factors other than my hard skills, my formal education, my formal schooling? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the intangible qualities that you need to have and you need to present to hiring managers, to recruiters. In the 2,500-year-old military strategy book, The Art of War, the author talks about the importance of knowing yourself and knowing your opponent. And he says, if you only know yourself and you don't know your opponent, you only have a 50% chance of winning. All right? Let's apply that to modern day job hunting. Quite often, the candidate does not understand the hiring manager, the hiring company, or the entire management, their concerns. And also, they do not understand their own relative advantage. Quite often, there are things that they perceive as a weakness, which is actually a relative advantage. And there are things about themselves which they perceive as a strength. Turns out it's, relatively speaking, a weakness. But because they don't understand the situation, all right? They don't understand how it's applied. For example, is a snow removal equipment good? Yes, it is good. In places that snow, in places that do not snow, like Florida, like Southern California, is a snowplow good? Is that equipment good? All right. So if you came from a place that snows, and by local regulation, you must carry chains in your vehicle. Are you supposed to carry chains when you move to Florida or Los Angeles? Or that becomes something that's just dead weight in your trunk, not doing anything. Now, the Art of War talked about know yourself and know your opponent. Now, in English, we say put yourself in the other person's shoes, or go sit the other guy's chair. I remember, I will never forget, when I first moved to the US from Australia after having lived in Australia for many years, I needed to do my taxes. First year was on the West Coast, and the second year was on the East Coast. So first year and second year, I had two different American accountants. And I kept on telling them about my taxes using taxation ideas based on Australian tax law. These two American accountants, they were either confused or shocked. And then they had explained to me those things do not apply to the US, because the US, the tax law here is different from Australian tax laws. And quite often, I'm in so much culture shock, and I cannot get my mind around. So I remember distinctively the second accountant I hired, I think it was in the Philadelphia area, right? He got up, and then he said, I cannot do that. Not sitting in my chair. And then he got up, and asked me to go sit in his chair. He invited me to go sit in his chair. And then I actually accepted his enthusiastic invitation. I got up from the customer's chair, right, in front of his desk to behind the desk in his big office, accountant boss's chair. And as soon as I sat in that chair, my entire feeling, my environment, everything, it just all changed. I suddenly understood what he meant. I look at his desk, his printer. He has employees outside. I understood from his point of view, okay, he has his own concerns. Let's make your learning easier by putting you into the shoes of the hiring manager, the hiring company. Let you get a feeling of their concerns. Let's imagine you are a coach of a sports team, okay? You are here to hire athletes, to draft athletes, to win the next game, all right? Depending on the sport, right? You are hiring based on different criteria, different qualifications. For example, weightlifting. Weightlifting, you're hiring someone who is buff. You probably don't hire based on height. You probably don't hire based on agility. But also, weightlifting, the guy is lifting weight all by himself. Even at the competition, they all take turn and get up there and lift the next heavier round of weight. But he's very much competing against the dead weight, all right? Compared to, say, table tennis or ping pong. Even if you're a solo player, right? You're not playing against a wall. You're playing against an opponent, a player from the other team, the opposing team, who is what? Not dead weight, who is a living, breathing human being, who has thinking and feelings. So your ability to observe, okay, and judge and guess and predict what the other guy is going to do, and then do things to trick the other guy thinking the ball is going to be here, but then you put the ball here, right, to trip him up. That is an important quality for you to win at the game of table tennis or ping pong. Now, let's up the ante a little bit further. What if this is team sport, be it, say, basketball, be it, say, football, soccer, or what have you, okay? Not only are you playing against an opponent, the opponent is a team, and also you are also in a team. So, as the coach who is hiring team members for the basketball team, the volleyball team, the football, the soccer, the whatever team, what are going to be your concerns, your considerations? Would you hire someone who is all about himself, herself? Okay. Would you hire someone who is like a weightlifter, who is a loner, it's all about himself? Okay. Or would you hire someone who has a bit of a team spirit, who is skilled at collaboration? Okay. Or would you hire someone who is skilled, who is talented at collaboration, at working with others? Less about, it's all about myself. So when you have the ball, but you are not in the best position, would you pass it on to someone else? Now, who would you pass it on to? Someone at a better position or someone you trust? And also, how do you gain the trust of your teammates so they will pass the ball on to you when the opportunity comes? So these are the sort of personality traits that a coach will be looking for, a hiring manager will be looking for. All right, now let's do the second thought experiment. Let's say you need to hire a plumber. You need to hire a plumber to fix a leaky toilet. Okay, so it's an urgent job, right? And it's a short-term job. So who would you call? Who would you hire? You will hire the plumber who is gonna come in a hurry, who can do the job, and who charges relatively not too much, okay, not 10 times more than the usual. And those are the criteria. But what if you need to remodel your kitchen? The whole job is going to take 3 months. Now who would you hire? Would you hire someone, in addition to the 3 criteria we talked about before, would you hire someone you can trust? Would you be looking for his reputation? Did he do a good job before with a previous client? Would you hire someone who can collaborate? For example, okay, to remodel your kitchen, you need a carpenter, and a plumber, and an electrician. Are the 3 of them going to be nicely collaborating, getting your kitchen done, or are they going to get into personality fights? Everyone is ego trip maniac. Everyone is insecure, and then they started to fight in your house. Is that something you would want, or is that something you would avoid? So these are the concerns of the hiring managers. And this is why they ask you questions that appear to be tricky, appears to be crazy, appears to be weird, appears to be designed to raise your blood pressure, to get you upset. Maybe they do want to see how you conduct yourself under pressure. When someone's trying to trigger you. Maybe that is their test, but they will never come on and say it. These sort of things are the intangibles that makes someone hired, as opposed to, well, I have the same level of education, I have the same level of schooling, but why is it that I am not hired, but the other person is? Those are the real reasons. And some of this will come through in the composure, in the composition of your resume, but a lot of it will come through during job interview, during telephone job interview, video job interview, or face-to-face job interview. And if you do not understand this is the other level that they're looking for, you do not understand these are the things that they are looking for, and they are secretly looking. This is like giving you the secret key to the inside of the mind of the hiring manager. And then we go in there and take a look around and read their journals, read their diaries to figure out what are their thinkings are. What is it that they are thinking? What is it that they are concerned about? What sort of a quality they are looking for to hire and to not hire. And I wasn't born with any of this. When I started, I didn't know any of this. I was a nerdy immigrant computer nerd. All I knew were my undergrad computer science, and anything about business, I learned it from my God, Bill Gates. His words were my command at the time. Now I know better. So I went from not knowing I didn't know, to realizing there are things I didn't know, to realizing I need to learn these things I didn't know, to figuring out how to learn any of these things, all of these things that I don't know, to being very good at learning these things, to becoming good at these things, to being able to help others with these things. I started my own business. I hired my own employees. I coached my employees. I terminated bad employees. And other IT people started hiring me to coach them, to be their consultant and coach, to teach them about business. I worked as a recruiter. I did a lot of matchmaking between candidates and big companies. I coached a lot of candidates, helping them with this sort of skills. And I taught leadership seminars. I taught managers how to hire, how to filter in and filter out good and bad candidates, and how to coach candidates, how to promote, how to coach good employees, and how to sum up the courage to let bad employees go. So if you need coaching to help you with your job seeking, your career advancement, my email address and my websites are linked below. Like, subscribe, and share this video with all you good family and friends who are also on their path of self-development and career advancement. We're in this together, we're learning together, we're going to grow together.